What is up, guys? Dashing here. We are back. The continuation of episode 124 of Octane. Obviously, last night we got cut off. Some technical difficulties, to say the least. But Shaq putting me through a table didn't stop me. If you think that a tree falling on my head's going to stop me, you got another thing coming. I'm the two-time commentator of the year for a reason. Gonna be the three-time commentator of the year for a reason. So here we go. Back up and running. And pick it up exactly where we left off. As Jeremy Barmore, joined of course by Jonathan Omerta. Gonna get ready to take on Isaac Diaz here. Last night we did see the Bloody Twit, who, by the way, I'm not ruling him out being behind that tree falling on me yesterday. An internal investigation has been launched, but nonetheless, we did see him defeat Ben Stacy by count out, of course, as well as Pure Excellence knocking off the Regulators despite a pre-match ambush by Jack Wolf and DRH. But here we go, Jeremy Barmore taking on the blue-haired bastard, Isaac Diaz, who will not be coming to the ring alone either, guys. Van Lightning going to be in the corner of Diaz for this matchup. And, well, of course, it was last week here on Octane. We saw Jeremy Barmore defeat Lightning. A good matchup between the two. This coming after Lightning had defeated Barmore a couple of weeks prior by countout. And, well, now Lightning has issued a demand for a rubber match to see who truly is the better man. Barmore and Omerta have ignored Lightning's challenge, so Lightning, I guess, is out here to make sure Jeremy Barmore hears him loud and clear. As Isaac Diaz certainly has his work cut out for him, taking on the much larger Jeremy Barmore, but in a short amount of time Diaz has been here in CMV, we've seen his tenacity on full display. And more recently, he's been teaming with Dusty Burns. He's going to leave Burns in the rear view now as he tries to carve out a path for himself here on Octane. It has been relatively overall, man, a very good first few weeks for total here in CMV. Of course, the Omerta Talent Agency and Logistics. We've seen over on Shockwave both Pierre Campbell and Destiny Monroe doing fairly well. Monroe, maybe not so much this past episode of Shockwave, defeated by a returning Jackie Storm, but nice start to this matchup. Both men trying to end it quickly. As you see Diaz running right up on Barmore here, showing no fear, but at a severe disadvantage when it comes to size and strength. You see Barmore easily lift up Diaz, drop him chest first right across that top rope, and now a massive splash by the man who, to ask many in the CMV universe, should have been a world champion a long time ago. He's definitely up on that Mount Rushmore of superstars who you would have figured by now, for as long as Barmore's been here in CMV, really been at the top pretty consistently since he arrived here in CMV. What, maybe 3, possibly even 4 years at this point? Somewhere around there. And he's had numerous opportunities fighting for world championship gold, but he's always come up short. I think with Jonathan Omerta by his side, though, maybe that's what he's been missing. That's the missing factor. I really could see Barmore becoming world champion finally this season as he just tosses around Isaac Diaz like it ain't no thing but a chicken wing here. Of course, back in the ring now very quickly. Irish whip, and Omerta gonna grab at the ankle, guys, but look at this. Van Lightning is having none of it as he distracts Jeremy Barmore, takes a swipe at him, and the referee, look at this, is ejecting both Jonathan Omerta and Van Lightning from ringside. Well, Lightning saying, hey, if you're gonna ignore me, I'm gonna make damn sure. Oh, and look at that spear, though. Barmore able to capitalize on the mayhem and might have the match won right here What a kick out. Man, Lightning saying, you're not going to ignore me. As we continue now uninterrupted here, but Barmore's in full control. I think he might have been looking for the F5 right there. Diaz doing a very good job of avoiding it, as now we get an arm drag by the blue-haired bastard. Big fan of this Isaac Diaz. As he waits for Barmore to get to his feet. What is that? Oh my God, look at the power here from Isaac Diaz into a clash. I'm going to roll him over into the pin. Great setup. Okay, well, Barmore very clearly has a rope break there. Referee did not see it, but luckily Barmore was able to kick out, much to the chagrin of Isaac Diaz, who I don't think is finished, though. Could he possibly be looking to lock in that modified crossface of his? Yes, far from the ropes. That modified crossface, nice and tight, but apparently not tight enough. Jeremy Barmore with a knee to the back of the head and a right hook there, able to escape, as now we get a kick to the gut. Push him up and give him the old snake eyes. Still a lot to look forward to here tonight, my friends. Our main event, of course, going to see Noah of main character Energy one-on-one with Beatrice Lotus as we gear up for quite a few weeks here in CMV, my friends. Of course, right around the corner, live from Long Island, the 36 Chambers, 2 Elimination Chamber matches. And then the return of Cyber Slam, Shockwave, and Octane, where the power will be in the hands of the people. Now we go back to Puerto Rico for the second year in a row. Ferocity, our all-women's event. No doubt about it. We've got our plates full when it comes to CMV action this month. And of course, happy 4th, by the way. As Jeremy Barmore drags Diaz here. Ain't gonna be no hot dogs for Isaac Diaz. He might be, well, having all of his meals through a straw by the time Barmore gets done with him. Nice modified backbreaker right there. Into the pin. 1, 2, but a kick out. Jonathan Omerta and Van Lightning ejected from ringside after both interfered in the matchup. Look at Barmore, so full of himself, and he has a right to be, man. So talented, but he's just not been able to get the job done when the lights are on brightest. Yes, with the boot to the chest, gonna knock Barmore right up against the ropes. Evidently exactly where Diaz wants him, going after that left knee. You see Jeremy Barmore wears a brace, spinning back fist now, but he can't chop down the giant. Takes him off his feet with a drop kick to the side of the head. And Diaz now tries to think quick. Stalking Barmore here out of the corner. And a nice little arm drag. Hip up, drop kick so fast. Is this Isaac Diaz? And that's going to be his benefit in this matchup. Faster, more agile than Jeremy Barmore. As could be looking to lock in that crossface again. Just gets taken down quick, though, with that clothesline and a headbutt to the midsection. As Barmore going to try for a quick pin, but now Barmore, oh, the ref immediately saw it. Referee is having absolutely none of that. Oh, but another spear. And that'll do it, I think. 1, 2. No, it will not. And shocked as Barmore thought he had it in the bag. Oh, he still might. Diaz not out of the woods yet. Look at the power. Wow. Into the F5. That was incredible. And say goodnight, Isaac Diaz. What? The blue-haired bastard. What a kick out after getting tossed around like a freaking rag doll. Barmore, though, still in the zone here, and Isaac Diaz is hurting. I don't know what he's got to do to turn this around, but he's got to do it quickly. Here's a nice start. Reverse DDT. And Diaz knows he has to act quickly. While Barmore is stunned, they're tripping him up. Again, going after that bad left knee, and the crossface is locked in again. But Barmore, a second time, is able to escape. He simply got that maneuver well scouted. As now Diaz is tossed off the ropes, dropped down by Barmore. Big boot, perhaps the biggest, baddest boot I've seen recently. And Diaz got busted open off of that too. And the fireman's carry position quickly though drops down, and another clash. Diaz, last ditch effort here, hooks the arms, and a clash. Rolls him over into the pin. 1, 2, kick out by Barmore. Look at Diaz scoots back, eyes wide, as blood drips down his face, but the third time's the charm, that's what they say. Crossface is locked in, but Barmore, too powerful, escapes it for a third time. And Diaz got to be thinking at this point, man, okay, I've tried everything now and multiple times. What is it going to take? Do I have what it takes to keep this big man down? I don't know. Back of the ring, Diaz is sent, trying to quickly scramble to his feet. Barmore once again runs him down, but Diaz so fast back to his feet in the blink of an eye. That's not going to go his way. Shut that down real quick to Jeremy Barmore. Gives him the snake eyes again, and once more, all of that weight. Big splash by the workhorse. He is now having his way with Isaac Diaz. Transitioning into what looks like a cloverleaf pain, digging his knee right into the middle of Diaz's back. And here's that wrestling background now on display. Amateur wrestling at its finest. And again, Barmore just so confident. Someone call it cocky, and it might cost him here. Diaz throws out a wild forearm, goes nowhere. Elbows, though, now to the gut. He's not dead yet. Big kick to the face. Directly to the face there by Isaac Diaz. What's he got left, man? What's he got left? He needs something big. This looks big to me. What a knee out of the corner. Right to the jaw. Barmore says, wait a minute. Crawls into the corner, but he ain't going to be safe there. Slingshot leg drop to the back of the head. Diaz right back up onto the apron. As now he stalks Barmore. The blue-haired bastard. Gonna soar through the air. Forearm smash. Takes him off his feet, but Barmore, the veteran, knew exactly where he was, able to escape out of the ring and avoid getting pinned there, but he's not going to be able to avoid this. Another knee to the jaw. Barmore is down, eyes glazed over. Diaz going to try to get him back into the ring. No. Throws him down onto the floor instead. Obviously easier said than done to get this massive man back into the ring, and especially when he's been incapacitated. That's a lot of dead weight. Well, Diaz might try to pull a bloody twit Chris Andrews here and just take the count out win. I think that's what he's going to do. The blue-haired bastard says, hey, a win is a win. But Barmore says, not so fast. Diaz with a premature celebration. Don't turn around, Diaz. Rolls him up. What a steal this would be. 1, 2. Oh, but the kick out. Can you imagine? Diaz would have been beating himself up forever over that. But trips him up a fourth time. Crossface is locked in. Maybe Barmore should have just taken the count out loss, because now he's going to have to tap out to the blue-haired bastard. What a match between these two. And Isaac Diaz, that tenacity I talked about before the match began, put on full display. He would not stay down. He almost tossed himself there in the end with that premature celebration. But able to catch Barmore a fourth time in that modified crossface. And 4 times too many for Barmore. He had to tap out. After Omerta, look at this, by the way. I would have told you for sure it was over after that F5. What power displayed by Jeremy Barmore. But after Omerta, and Lightning were ejected, both interfering in the matchup. I wasn't sure the match could go much longer, man. These two putting on a banger. And Barmore, I thought, was going to steal it here. Diaz, there's the fourth time, locking in that crossface. And try as he might, Barmore had no choice but to tap out. What a win for the blue-haired bastard. This is a big win for Isaac Diaz. And the action continues, my friends, here on Octane episode 124. As coming up next, Diana Holmes is back in action for the first time since she made her debut a few weeks ago, defeating, actually, well, that woman right there that's following her down to the ring, Taryn Torres. And Holmes has sort of become inadvertently involved in this sisterly warfare between Torres and Pratt. We saw Holmes also get involved in the Elimination Chamber qualifying match between Torres and Pratt, which Pratt won. And next weekend, she will be a part of that Women's World Championship #1 contenders Elimination Chamber match live from Long Island. We're going to have her hands full with the social media outcast here, Diana Holmes, who certainly impressed in her debut against Taryn Torres. Going to look to follow up by knocking off a former women's tag team champion and Precious Pratt. Still to come, guys, Xander Slate and Silas Blackwell going to be taking on Brody Anderson and Anarchy champion Max Cutter. Also, AK Bunny one-on-one with Alaric. And our main event, Noah of Main Character Energy takes on Beatrice Lotus. Right now, Diana Holmes is eager to step back into the ring and show that women's locker room why she's coming to take over the place. Easier said than done, considering just how stacked our women's division currently is. The biggest it's ever been. I believe the baddest it's ever been. And I certainly can't wait for Ferocity in a few weeks. Over in Puerto Rico, all women's event. Holmes, though, going to have her hands full. No disrespect towards Taryn Torres, who is very capable in her own right, but Precious Pratt, I think, is a whole nother breed. The former women's tag team champion, who prepares to step inside of the Elimination Chamber next weekend, needs all the momentum that she can muster, but can't seem to shake her half-sister Taryn Torres, and now Diana Holmes getting involved. Trying to get these thorns out of her side is Precious Pratt so that she can have a clear head walking into the chamber. So here we go, Diana Holmes, Precious Pratt, one-on-one. There's really no one way to prepare for someone like Precious Pratt. That's what makes her so dangerous. You have to expect the unexpected. I think that's the only way you're going to get an edge against Pratt as the bell rings. Hook to the jaw. Waist lock by Pratt right in the middle of the ring with Taryn Torres at ringside, though. Is Pratt going to be able to stay focused on the danger in ring that is Diana Holmes? And Pratt now has 2 wins over Taryn Torres, and still Torres, like a pit bull with a bone, man, just will not give up until her half-sister is gone from CMV. Will be the only thing that at last allows Taryn Torres to move on. Nice exchange here between these two, straight out the gate. They're back, right into a pin, okay. Very interesting, took her down. Oh, but, well, Taryn Torres has alerted the referee to a rope break. I don't know how she transitioned so quickly from a waist lock down into a pin, but, well, Taryn Torres making sure that the referee saw that rope break. I don't think Diana Holmes would have necessarily been out of this one just yet. Well, might be after that clothesline, though. And Taryn Torres, though, guys, if she didn't tell the referee, wow, Diana Holmes just casually pulling out a springboard Phoenix splash into the pin. As you might have missed Taryn Torres taking off that top turnbuckle cover. Referee has seen it, though. I was going to say, if Torres didn't alert the referee to that rope break, I'm not sure if the ref would have seen it. This would have been one of the shortest matches in CMV history. Holmes would have been severely screwed over. And let's not act like the referees here in CMV haven't done that sort of thing before. What a neck breaker, by the way, there by Holmes. Off the top, caught Precious Pratt perfectly. As we see the strength now exhibited from Holmes. Might not expect it, taking a look at her. Off that knee, though, and Pratt's been busted open. That's going to put a smile on the face of Taryn Torres, no doubt about it. Look for the jaw by Holmes. She's now from behind, able to hook the arm drag and suplex. It is all Holmes right now after she hit that springboard Phoenix splash. Pratt's looking for a breather, but Holmes is not going to allow it. A trio of right hands. Last one, though, gets blocked by Pratt. Hook for the jaw, going to spin Holmes around, but an elbow waiting for her. And what is Torres doing now? Sliding a kendo stick into the ring. Not exactly inconspicuous, but discus clothesline there by Diana into the pin, but that's going to be a kick out at one. And I'm pretty sure the referee's going to see that kendo stick. Let's hope she does at least. Shooting star press. God damn, Diana Holmes non-stopping in this matchup. As now in the corner, well, this is what she used to defeat Taryn Torres a few weeks ago in her debut. That super kick out of the corner, Chris Diamond-esque, and into the pin. Will it win the matchup here tonight? No, it will not. 2.5, Pratt's able to kick out. But I don't think, oh my God! I was going to say, I don't think Holmes is finished. And yeah, spinning back fist, and oh no, another super kick. But that one gets blocked by Precious Pratt. She was able to see it coming the second time around. Diana Holmes perhaps getting a little bit overzealous, and now is going to pay for it. As Pratt tries to take a chunk out of her right here, biting, I think, at Holmes' neck. Trying to draw some blood, maybe. Diana very nearly had this one in the bag, but now Precious Pratt maybe looking for that choke bomb. Holmes has done her homework. Avoiding with that kick to the midsection. Nicely caught. German suplex, and what a bridge. Look at the form here by Diana Holmes. Kick out, though. Taryn Torres has once again taken off that top turnbuckle cover as Diana is setting up off the top rope here for a perfect, I don't know if I have ever in my days, 10 plus years calling the action here in CMV, if I've ever seen a missile dropkick quite like that before. That was perfect. And now a Michinoku driver on the floor. Diana Holmes really meshes the speed and power. Doesn't seem like she excels at necessarily one thing specifically. We've seen some power moves. We've seen some incredible high-flying maneuvers in this matchup. Really switches it up, trying to keep Precious Pratt on her toes. So far, it's working. It's paying off. We're on a 7 here already. God damn, this referee is going really fast. Diana Holmes like, hang on a second, count of 8. And the referee has found the exposed turnbuckle a second time. I think she maybe get a bit suspicious now as Holmes goes for the pin. And 1, 2. Oh, well, it would have been a kick out anyhow. Holmes, though, you can see getting a bit agitated here. I don't know if she's necessarily happy with the antics of Taryn Torres here on her behalf. It just cost her right there, potentially. Getting a little bit cheeky as Holmes now. Clothesline, though. And another, keeping Pratt off her feet. She keeps getting back up, though. There's a falling dropkick by the social media outcast. Feeling herself here is Diana Holmes. Uh-oh, up to Brett's rope. Showing off a little bit. Only her second match, if you think we're trying to focus up, and that's why I think you should save the celebrating for once the match is over. Completely missed that neck breaker, and that's going to leave her exposed. Precious Pratt trying to catch her on the rebound. Elbow though to the jaw. Kick to the midsection by the former Women's Tag Team Champion, and now she's going to hit that choke bomb. Vintage Pratt. Hands on the chest, into the pin, but a kick out by Diana Holmes, who now quickly tries to crawl into the corner here, saying, hey, God, what the hell just happened? Oh, but that's the perfect setup. Talk about serving yourself up on a silver platter. That poisoned kiss goodnight from Precious Pratt. See ya, bye, Diana Holmes. 1, 2, kick out. I feel like the referee was a little bit slow getting in position for that count. Might have been what cost Pratt. Holmes able to kick out, though. 2.999. Now look at the power from Pratt. Military press. And right up to Brett's rope to follow through. Waiting for Holmes to get to her feet. Perhaps a little bit too close. Didn't get all that elbow. Not enough room to maneuver there. But she's staying on top of Diana Holmes, who quickly rolls through. How fast was Holmes right there now from behind? With a back suplex countered, though, into a sort of crossbody. Hell of a matchup here between these two. Despite the interferences from Taryn Torres. Elbows now to the midsection of Diana Holmes. Precious Pratt trying to set her up for, oh no. Oh no. Precious Pratt. Powerbomb on the steel barricade. I think I heard the crack of Diana's spine from all the way over here. Talk about taking it up a notch. Good God, man. And now I'm going to target that back with a stomp. Diana Holmes could have a broken back right now after this. Well, she's still in the fight. Slides back into the ring. Pratt's right behind her. Oh, man, I thought she ducked that kick, but came down, made it into a sort of axe kick there. Stiff clothesline at close range by Precious Pratt. These two are beating the hell out of each other. Back in the corner, Precious Pratt going to use her leg to choke out. Holmes here going to be careful enough to get disqualified, and Holmes able to reverse it. Diana now thinks quick. Springboard double moon stop attempted. Pratt gets out of the way. And now Pratt sets her up. Fireman's carry. Nice counter to a reverse DDT, though, by Diana. Back and forth between these two. Uh-oh, that's a perfect setup. Diana, again, though, more interested in showing off. Should have tried for that neck breaker again. And again, she completely whiffs it. That's going to allow Pratt to wake up, sends her off the ropes. Just leaping on top of her, biting at her neck. This is what I'm talking about. You got to expect the unexpected when it comes to Precious Pratt, man. She will bite you. She will try to break your fingers. She'll try to rip your hair out. Oh, and now Taryn Torres. Come on, you haven't caused enough BS in this matchup so far. Oh, that's going to allow Holmes to get to her feet, too. Holmes going to capitalize. Turns Pratt around with a knee to the jaw. God damn. Well, thanks to Taryn Torres. 1, 2. Kick out though by Pratt. You would have thought that Diana Holmes had it won right there. I certainly did. Another springboard Phoenix splash, keeping the pressure on here. Diana going to walk right past Taryn Torres, trying to stay focused. Precious Pratt is hurled, but right to the side of the steel steps. These two just casually having an absolute barn burner here tonight on Octane episode 124. Back suplex. This could end very badly. So close to the steel steps. Precious Pratt knew it. Torres again, and Precious Pratt can't help but to fall for it. That's her half-sister. And they're yelling at each other. They're screaming at each other. And this is just giving Diana Holmes all the time in the world to recover. By the way, a count of 7 right now by the referee. Count of 8. And Diana's going to get back into the ring. She's not going to risk it. Count of 9. Both women back in. Knife edge shot and another. Ooh, big kick right to the side of the head. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Precious Pratt. From the far side of the ring. Gonna make that long, creepy approach. This spider walk out of the corner, stalking Diana Holmes, who has no idea what's coming her way. Holmes is oblivious, begins to get to her feet, and Pratt's got her. That poison kiss goodnight a second time. And you got to imagine that's going to be enough. 1, 2, no! Unbelievable, Holmes. Pratt even has to step back for a second and say, what? Are you kidding me? Look at how biting her forehead. Slingshot puts Holmes down hard as Torres tries to take a swipe at Pratt there, but missed Pratt with a headbutt from off the second rope. Headbutt now to the chest. Follows up with that back suplex. Man, that's old school Pratt. I haven't seen her hit that in a long time, but it might finally be enough. No. What a match. And Taryn Torres, I don't think can believe what's going on either. As we see Torres once again giving Diana Holmes an opportunity to get to her feet, as Precious Pratt is distracted, and Holmes going to utilize the distraction. Big pile driver. Holy shit, man. But wait a minute, the ref has had enough, I think. The referee is too busy ejecting Taryn Torres. Torres is out of here. Diana Holmes had the match won. That was like a 10 count. But Taryn Torres, a bit too late, if you ask me, has been ejected. Oh, but it might not matter. Diana Holmes looking for another one of those super kicks out of the corner. And nailed it. Right home to your mama. This one's over. Uno, dos. What? Huh? Diana Holmes goes straight back to work. I cannot believe this match. Gonna try to throw it right back into the ring, but Pratt counters. Well, at least Taryn Torres has now been ejected. No more interferences. But has the damage already been done at this point? I would think so. Back and forth, elbow for elbow. Oh, but there's the claw! The mandible claw! And you gotta think this has to be it. Precious Pratt is victorious. I mean, wow. What a match. That was unreal. For Diana Holmes' second match here in CMV, just pushed Precious Pratt to the absolute limit. But man, she had the match won too after that pile driver. If I were Diana Holmes, I would be livid with Taryn Torres. It's not as if Torres was out here for the benefit of Diana Holmes, was out here to try and cost Precious Pratt this match, and she almost did multiple times, but in a strange twist of fate, in the end, she cost Diana Holmes the match. There was the second poison kiss goodnight that we saw Holmes kick out of unbelievably. What a match. But Precious Pratt overcomes every obstacle put before her by her half-sister. Look at this right here, man. Holmes had it won. That pile driver, I mean, that was like a 10 count. And somehow Pratt kicks out of this a second super kick. I mean, these two brought their A games to this match. I would have loved to see a rematch. No Taryn Torres involved. But here was the end. Precious Pratt finally going for the coup de grace. That mandible claw. that puts Diana Holmes to sleep at last. And I'd say Precious Pratt is more than ready to enter the Elimination Chamber next weekend. And up next, my fine feathered friends, we got tag team action here on Octane episode of 124 as Xander Slate has found himself perhaps a new protege in the form of Silas Blackwell, who, as you can see, is now rocking an eye patch of his own given to him by Xander Slate, guys, after that brutal backstage brawl that we witnessed last week here on Octane between Silas Blackwell, CJ Eddy, and Anarchy champion Max Cutter. Remember, it was supposed to be CJ Eddy, Max Cutter, one-on-one for the Anarchy Championship, but Blackwell made sure that did not happen, attacking the both of them backstage. But in the end, Blackwell, well, his plan kind of backfired as he injured his right eye. It was a bloodied mess, and well, I'm still not entirely sure. We haven't received word from the medical team if he's going to permanently lose that right eye of his. But for now, Xander Slate, of course, very familiar with having only one eye, visited Silas Blackwell while he was laid up, told him to not allow this to stop him. This is just a minor setback, said Xander Slate. Look what happened to me. I got put through a table face first, splinter in my eye, thanks to Quantum. That's not me, no. I'd say it made me even better. And it seems like perhaps that pep talk worked for Silas Blackwell as he's rocking the eye patch. And here tonight, the two of them going to be taking on the team of Brody Anderson and Anarchy champion Max Cutter. And we also saw just earlier tonight, guys, before the show went on the air, Max Cutter confronted Xander Slate in the parking lot. But that confrontation quickly turned into an attack as Xander Slate and Silas Blackwell laid out the Anarchy champion. And well, we now know, guys, next episode of Octane, it will be a triple threat match for the Anarchy championship. Silas Blackwell, CJ Eddy, Max Cutter for the Anarchy championship. But here tonight, Brody Anderson going to provide some backup to his pal Max Cutter for this tag team matchup. And CJ Eddy, you know, has to be more livid than anyone else. His one-on-one championship match taken away from him thanks to Silas Blackwell. But he still has his shot at the Anarchy championship next week. And we'll find out if Silas Blackwell is going to allow this eye injury to hold him back, or if, like Xander Slate said, could be a whole new beginning for the Anomaly. And with Slate at his side, maybe this really is going to be a new chapter for Silas Blackwell. I mean, it should be a testament that legends here in CMV. Remember, Voice Vindy was hanging around with Silas Blackwell for a good while last season. It should tell you, these veterans, these GOATs, wanting to help Silas Blackwell, wanting to mentor him, that should tell you all you know about the potential of Silas Blackwell. Of course, the former pure champion. It was that man, Max Cutter, did the unexpected a few weeks back, defeated Silas Blackwell to win the pure championship, and then immediately retired it to bring back the Anarchy Championship, which of course suits Max Cutter a whole hell of a lot better. But now the champion, okay, this was uncalled for, but now the champion faces stiff odds defending his title in a triple threat match next week. But of course, pissed off more so than usual after that attack earlier tonight. Looking to vent his frustrations here in this tag team matchup. So here we go. Xander Slate going to be kicking things off against Big Brody Anderson. Slate, who indeed a lot of others in Slate's boots may have called it quits after such a debilitating injury years ago, losing his right eye. But no, Xander Slate, he didn't slow down for a second. In fact, I'd say in a lot of ways, Xander Slate became much more vicious. Max Cutter tagged in early DDT, going to spike the OG Dirty Heel as he gets a big hammering shots now to the back of the head. How is Blackwell going to be able to adjust, though? I mean, it might have taken Slate a little while. This is just 1 week removed. Silas Blackwell hasn't had function in his right eye. Stands to reason he might have a bit of trouble here tonight. As Anderson is tagged back in and going to instantly strike a pose. We've been waiting for this man, Brody Anderson, to break out. He's had some really great matches so far this season, but he's failed to garner any big win. La Maestral here from Xander Slate, going to try to steal it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, but no such luck for the veteran. Now we see a Cobra clutch. This is vintage Slate right here. Backbreaker, and then just going to toss him out. Treating a man the size of Brody Anderson like a rag doll. There's a springboard leg drop. We're going to have our questions answered here as Silas Blackwell is tagged in. Let's slowly approach Anderson here, going up to the top rope. Perfect position. Couldn't really ask for it to be any better, but he's waiting patiently. He's taking it slow. Drop kick there. You can't really blame Silas Blackwell for that. Again, you've gone your entire career having perfect vision, and now here you are wrestling with only one eye. Your equilibrium is going to be all jacked up. Max Cutter's going to make the most of it. Elbow there, though, as Cutter was trying to make the tag. And a German suplex drops Blackwell right on his sternum. That's going to be no easy feat for Max Cutter, guys, defending his Anarchy Championship in a triple threat matchup where he won't even have to be involved in the decision to lose his championship. You could see Silas Blackwell pin CJ Eddie, or CJ Eddie pin Blackwell, and we'll have a new champion. But Blackwell's going to roll to the outside of the ring. Things are not looking good for the Anomaly here at the start of this tag team matchup. Brody Anderson, though, going to get distracted by Xander Slate. And Slate going to take this heavy-hitting offense, gives Blackwell plenty of time to recover. What a sacrifice play by Xander Slate. He almost falls right on top of Blackwell, as this gives Anderson time to make the tag to Max Cutter, too. Still to come here tonight, guys, AK Bunny looks to remain undefeated here on Octane, as he'll be going one-on-one with Alaric. Now, that's going to be quite a test. And also in our main event, Noah of Main Character Energy takes on Beatrice Lotus, guys. I mean, look at this. Blackwell is hesitant to get into the ring. Looked like for a moment he might walk out. You are seeing a different side. We've never seen Silas Blackwell like this before. Unsure of himself. Lost. Xander Slate tried to give him that pep talk, but again, only a week to adjust. It's going to be tough. And Max Cutter, you can be damn sure, is going to take full advantage of this situation. Another German suplex again. Drops Blackwell hard. He tries to escape to the outside, where Silas Blackwell grabs him, runs him right into the side of the steel steps. Blackwell maybe starting to find his groove here as he goes after the knees, and now specifically isolating the left knee of the Anarchy champion, Max Cutter. Already up to a count of 5. Blackwell gonna throw Max Cutter down onto the floor. No sort of rush here. Blackwell is taking it very, very slow in this matchup. Oh, there we go. Steps it up with that handstand elbow across the midsection. Count of 10. They have until 20 to get back into the ring. Max Cutter throwing shoulder first into the side of the steel barricade. Xander Slate going to make himself useful here. Bringing Cutter to his feet, but Cutter with a kick to the gut of the OG Dirty Heel. Throws him off to the side, says, "Get lost, old timer." Now back into the ring. Blackwell, though, right there waiting for him. Cutter, though, able to drop down behind. Shot to the back of the knee. Blackwell would have nothing more than to prove he has not lost a step despite the loss. At least momentarily. Again, we don't know if the damage is going to be permanent. There's no word yet from the medical team, the doctors. The tag to Brody Anderson now. Big punch to the gut. Max Cutter, meanwhile, would love nothing more than to take Blackwell out here tonight. Making a one-on-one next week for the Anarchy Championship. Defending against CJ Eddie. Look at the frequent tags here between Brody Anderson and Max Cutter. I love it. These two might not be the best of friends, but they have a common love for inflicting pain and agony, and that's enough. There's a hot tag to Xander Slate, though. Slate gonna try to take a shot with that springboard cutter, but instead it's Cutter with a springboard drop kick that connects in the tag now to Brody Anderson. Brody very slowly makes his way over to Brett's rope. Drop of the elbow across the chest, and now shoots the half forearm to the face for the pin, but a kick out. Nice to say it's not been a great start to this new season for Xander Slate, but Slate's had a great many ups and downs throughout his CMV career. But he's been here since just about day one, over 10 years. He's never been gone for longer than a couple of months. Irish whip in the corner. That's what he's trying to tell Silas Blackwell. Don't let this keep you down. Don't start doubting yourself. Big drop kick to the back, takes Anderson off his feet. And look, you can see Blackwell over there, guys, has not gotten back up on the apron, perhaps taking himself out of this match. It's not gone his way. He's, pardon my French here, but he's been getting his ass kicked. And it might be up to Slate here as Silas Blackwell just too unsure. Big sit-out Alabama slam. Vintage Xander Slate right there. Pulls Anderson to his feet. Scoops him up. Walked in the middle of the ring for a Samoan drop. All the classic Xander Slate's hitting right now. But Anderson, for being a relative rookie, able to roll out of the ring. You see Slate now over there telling Blackwell, come on, get your head in the game, kid. You gotta stop doubting yourself. You gotta push forward. But this is no time for a pep talk mid-match. Slate back into the ring now. As Anderson gets to his feet, Anderson taking a second before getting back into the ring where Slate's waiting for him. The OG Dirty Heel, big sit-out powerbomb. Ain't finished. Oh, it might be time for the STF. Slain by Slate. Slain by Slate is locked in. But the Anarchy champion Max Cutter in to break it up. And of course, Silas Blackwell of no help. And despite that mid-match talking to by Xander Slate, Blackwell, it looks like indeed has resorted to taking himself out of this match, and that obviously puts Slate at a big disadvantage, as this has pretty much become a handicap match now. Oh man, drops Slate on top of his head. Slate quick to roll to the outside. But I don't know if it's necessarily going to be safe out there. Brody Anderson Waiting patiently. They say it is a virtue. Axe cutter, here comes the Anarchy champion. Gonna throw Slate back into the ring right at the feet of Brody Anderson. Couple of stomps here to Slate, one to the chest. I'm gonna go for a quick pin. 1, 2. Very close right there. Not close enough though. Brody Anderson agitated. Irish whip into the corner. Last place Slate wants to be right now as the tag is made to Max Cutter. Off the ropes into a double back body drop. This has obviously become very much one-sided with Silas Blackwell refusing to partake in the matchup any further. That doesn't mean to count out Xander Slate, though. Many have in the past, and they will live to regret it. DDT off the apron! Right at the feet of Silas Blackwell. As Slate now shows Blackwell right in front of him exactly what he's capable of. One eye or not. Slate said, look, is it stopping me? Is it holding me back? Not for a damn second. Back into the ring now. But Blackwell still does not seem convinced. Slate up to Brett's rope. Gonna drop the fist on the Anarchy champion. Slate, who is himself a former Anarchy champion, into the pin, but that's gonna get broken up though by Brody Anderson. Cutter gonna get dragged by arm, by leg towards the center of the ring. Slate setting up, well, I don't know what. Cutter though obviously saw it coming. As we get an Irish whip off the ropes, and that back elbow from the Violent One, but he does not stop there. Fingers still on the trigger as he looks to take Slate out with the Dragon Sleeper. Middle of the ring, nowhere to go. No help from Silas Blackwell. But will Slate tap? No, he will not. Showing his resilience, but well, he's far from out of the woods into the corner where Max Cutter looks to make the tag to Brody Anderson. Gonna get thrown into, what the hell? They set up for big boot to the side of the head into a sidewalk slam. What a combination. Count to 100, I think. 1, 2. No, a kick out by Slate. Brody Anderson, though. You can see keeps on him like a monkey on a cupcake. Slate in the corner here, gonna knock Cutter off the apron. The right off. Gonna try just a desperation pin here from Xander Slate. We'll see if the desperation pays off. It almost does. Very close indeed. 2.999. Gonna go right for another pin. This time just a 1 count. You saw Slate look back there for a moment at Silas Blackwell. Perhaps Slate was wrong about Blackwell. Maybe he doesn't have what it takes to continue with just one eye. Oh, look at Slate. Takes Cutter down. Wrong time, though. Much like we saw from Isaac Diaz earlier tonight. But wait a minute. Another sit-out powerbomb from the OG Dirty Heel. 1, 2. Cutter makes the save at just about the last millisecond right there. But Slate's going to make him pay. Tries to. Cutter's able to get away. Back out onto the apron. As Slate by Slate is locked in again. Brody Anderson is caught. And there ain't going to be no help from Max Cutter this time. Slate's, but releases the hold as Anderson does not tap out. But he is in a world of trouble right now. And Slate from out of the corner with a discus big boot. Hooks that leg for the uno, the dos, no tres though. And Anderson able to make the tag to Max Cutter. Slate holding his own in this handicap situation as Silas Blackwell has elected to take himself out of this match. Slate's now falling to the outside, and Cutter, see him looking at Blackwell almost with pity in his eyes. This is giving Slate plenty of time, though, to get back to his feet. Cutter calling Blackwell a coward. As all the while, Slate going after, it looks like Brody Anderson. Going to make sure he stays down before getting back into the ring. Max Cutter, though, no clean ring entry for the Hall of Famer. Slate's able to drop down behind him. Caught as the Anarchy champion now. Backbreaker, neckbreaker combination. Put together beautifully. There's a Tanahashi clothesline. Slate right back up, though, with a jawbreaker. Saying, how do you do? And there's that Cutter from out of the corner, connected that time, and if I do say so myself, beautifully. And you see now the stops to the exposed head of the Anarchy champion. Silas Blackwell just watching, shoulders slumped. His one good eye, all I see in it is uncertainty. And perhaps Blackwell is starting to be more of a liability than any sort of help here in this tag team matchup. DDT again on the apron. Slate most certainly knows how to utilize his environment. Knee to the back of the head as Cutter is very slowly brought to his feet. Slate with a powerbomb, elbow drop combination on the floor. Cutter's been entirely laid out, but Slate is still not done. A little something extra here. Slate walk slam! Down on the floor. Cutter has been entirely dispatched by the OG Dirty Heel. Refs up to a count of 8 here. And Xander Slate gonna go the long way around the ring, I guess. He's certainly got the time. Max Cutter ain't getting up anytime soon, I don't think, after that Slate walk slam. Begins to stir right at the feet of Silas Blackwell. Xander Slate with a hook to the jaw, over an elbow. Crafty as they come is Max Cutter. Back into the ring. Cutter, though, going to reset the count as Cutter's going after Blackwell. Cutter saying, you ain't going to sit out of this one anymore. Back suplex to Blackwell. As Xander Slate just begins to get to his feet, Cutter's going to run him down. Caught by Slate, up on the fireman's carry position. Death Valley driver. And now it's Slate who quickly hops back into the ring. Cracks his neck. Slate said, I can do this all night long. Brody Anderson able to keep him at bay, but Slate is a persistent one. A DDT to Brody Anderson. Cutter's back in the ring. Xander Slate's going to meet him. Cutter off the ropes. No, stopped by Slate. Slate walk slam again. This time into the pin. 1, 2. Kick out though, and Blackwell's back on the apron. That cheap shot from Max Cutter has evidently woke Silas Blackwell up. And now the tag to the former Pure champion. Big punch to the gut. Max Cutter may have just screwed up. Blackwell not going to allow his injury to hold him back any longer. Cutter's been busted open. And a belly-to-belly overhead from off Brett's rope. Still not done though, as Cutter thrown into the corner. Slate gonna catch him with a big Cutter. Silas follows up. Knee drop to the extended arm. Double boot stomp to the other arm. Every single bit of Cutter's body right now being picked apart, but now in the corner, Cutter says, hold the phone, brother. Makes the tag to Brody Anderson. Maybe the smartest thing Max Cutter has done in this matchup. Silas not moving here in the corner. Anderson gonna set him up in that tree of woe position. Gonna kick to the top of the head. Stuns Anderson just long enough. Nice dodge though. And a clothesline gonna take Blackwell off his feet right into the pin. Gonna try quickly to end it. But a kick out by Blackwell at 2. Anderson, look how he puts himself between Silas Blackwell and Xander Slade as well. Not going to allow a tag to be made, but Blackwell giving too much time there. And now the Kimura is locked in. He's going to break his damn arm, but Max Cutter makes the save and takes out Silas Blackwell in one fell swoop. Man, you could tell Anderson was maybe a second from tapping away. And now he's out in the middle of the ring. Silas Blackwell down at ringside. We're at a little bit of a stalemate here in this tag team match. Anderson gets to his feet and very wisely tags in Max Cutter. Meanwhile, Blackwell has not moved at ringside. There we go. The quit has left Silas Blackwell's body at this point. Oh, but runs right into that back elbow. 1, 2. Take out by Blackwell. Yeah, what we saw at the start of this matchup, it is gone now. But Max Cutter trying to permanently compromise Silas Blackwell. No luck for you. Pele kick to the back of the head. And again, targets that arm, trying to set up always for the Kimura. Into the pin here, though. And gets it to Silas Blackwell. He has just pinned the Anarchy champion. With the help of Xander Slate, Silas Blackwell realizes here tonight that his injury will not hold him back. Might have been hesitant at first. For half of this matchup, he refused to compete in it. Jumped off the apron, sat at ringside. But Slate showed him that the only one that can hold you back is yourself here in this match. Silas Blackwell and Xander Slate with a huge win, and especially for Blackwell, heading into the Anarchy Championship triple threat match next week here on Octane. Just when it looked like Blackwell was about to bite the dust, able to sneak a quick pin and the win for he and Xander Slate tonight. And up next, my friends, here on Octane, episode of 124, Salem, who has been on a red-hot streak her last few outings, looks to keep adding to that winning streak. Set to go one-on-one with Cassidy Vance up next. And of course, still to come, AK Bunny one-on-one with Alaric. I'm very much looking forward to that matchup in our main event. Noah of main character Energy one-on-one with Beatrice Lotus. Salem coming off a win, guys, against Fig. And also a triple threat match more recently where she defeated Trinity Everhart and Fig. And Salem, who we quickly realized possesses the unique ability to rather easily get under someone's skin. And she has most certainly managed to do that when it comes to Fig. We saw Fig blow up against Trinity Everhart a couple of weeks ago. Things getting real tense between the two of them. And even after Fig had won the match against Trinity Everhart, even after the fact, shoved Everhart to the mat after she was offered a handshake, had none of it. Fig is just possessed with this desire to get the better of Salem, despite, last couple of times failing to do so. But Cassidy Vance is out here tonight to try and end the winning streak Salem has bet on of the winner of Reality Wrestling Season 2. As much as I do like Cassidy Vance, I do see a bright future here in CMV. Look, she would not have won Season 2 of the Reality Wrestling if she didn't truly deserve to be here. But she has yet to really earn any significant wins this season, despite that victory over Sarah Miller. Let's see if maybe she can get on the right track here tonight. Salem, Cassidy Vance. One-on-one as the referee rings the bell and we get it on. Salem with a big hook to the jaw straight out the gate, but an elbow there by Vance to fire back. And see some kicks to the midsection. And a forearm smash, very hard hitting is this Cassidy Vance. Don't let her looks fool you. Misses that springboard cannonball senton though. And these are wide open to Salem. Nails her with that knee to the side of the head. Now a springboard Phoenix splash, Diana Holmes style, but narrowly avoids it as we see Vance a little bit cheeky. No surprise, of course, the younger sister of Blake Virtue, perhaps the cheekiest of all. See that it runs in the family, calling up a tie-up. I'd say Cassidy Vance, talented despite her bloodline, being the sibling of Blake Virtue, who I believe to... Well, I won't get into it right now. Obviously, I'm not a fan of Blake Virtue. I'm not going to say he's not a great performer or anything, but... Backstabber there. She might have it in the back, follows up with some kicks to the face. Salem gets out of there, but not out of danger from the top. But man, Salem just sucking her in. Sidestep and Vance landing back first on the floor. I've become a very fast fan of Salem. Loves to play mind games. And as I said before, possesses that ability. Heel of her boot driven into the base of Cassidy's skull right there. Able to, with relative ease, worm her way into the minds of her opponents. Quick roll up here by Vance, going to try to steal it. But look how Salem rolls back. Now she's got the pin, but a kick out by Cassidy. Schoolboy here by Cassidy Vance, but a kick out by Salem. Very nice back and forth here between these two. As we get a swinging neck breaker. Cassidy follows that up with a monkey flip into the corner. There's no denying, though, in this women's division of ours, which is absolutely more stacked than it ever has been. So many of the absolute best in the game today are here in CMV. And you gotta stick out. That's what Salem's been doing over these last few weeks, winning her matches. Cassidy Vance, a little bit of a hip attack into the pin, gets a 2 count. Stomp to keep Salem down. Another one. And we see Cassidy Vance getting a little bit maybe big for her britches here. Hawkins will stack another hip attack. That time, though, Salem immediately hops out of the ring. Oh, we get the in and out game. Into the midsection, though, gets blocked in an Irish whip to send Vance off the ropes. Dropped down by Salem. Pop up powerbomb. How about putting a stop to that immediately. That's what Salem just did. Revolution knee. Right after us now, Salem from the apron. Tries for a springboard senton, but Vance very, very fast. Gets herself out of the way and now pins down Salem's arm, delivering some stomps to the hand. Springboard cannonball senton. She got it that time. Persistent here as Cassidy is now she looks for the pin. 1 count is all she's going to get. Kick to the top of the head though, and Salem's back to her feet. Wanting nothing more than to keep up her winning streak. Especially, guys, heading into Ferocity just a few weeks away. Our all-women's event live from Puerto Rico. Big chop to the chest. Back and forth in between these two, but now Cassidy has caught Salem. Snake eyes! Takes her off her feet into the pin here by Cassidy Vance. 1 count. Is all the younger Virtue siblings going to get here. You see Salem crawl out of the apron looking for a reprieve, but unfortunately it won't be found out there. DDT off the apron. Very quick thinking by Cassidy Vance. Throws her back in the ring while Salem is stunned. This is Cassidy's opportunity to try to put her away. A super kick at close range, man. Put her boot straight down the gullet. Oh, Salem and not done either. Spear, but gets up the knee to Salem. And that could be a broken nose for Cassidy Vance. Looks like she's okay, though. She's able to shake it off. Snapmare now. And there's that drop kick right to the side of the head. Once again, pins down the arm to Cassidy as she targets the hands of Salem. Look, if your opponent has 2 broken hands, they ain't going to be doing very much to you. A very sound strategy by Cass. Springboard clothesline, not super impactful, but it got Salem off her feet. As now we see Cassidy Vance transition to targeting the knee of Salem. The left knee in particular. Cassidy thinking can't take too long, can't waste time like this, especially against someone so dangerous like Salem. Grab on the back of that slam face first off the turnbuckle, kick to the midsection, and another, maybe a third? No, going to again ram her face first off the top turnbuckle, giving her a beating right now. Dare I say a shellacking. Busted open at Salem, as she gets yeeted there into the corner. Cassidy Vance going to pick her up. It is all Vance right now. Can she keep it that way? Gut check time. Off the ropes, full steam ahead, with a kick right outside the head. Salem is in serious trouble here. Cassidy Vance with the Irish whip, and Salem counters. And now it's Cassidy sent into the corner, as it looks like Salem might have a broken nose, but up off the top. Holy shit, a quick Spanish fly. Where did that come from? And now Salem, like I said, there might be no one better in the women's division, being able to really quickly piss an opponent off. And Cassidy definitely looks pissed right now as she delivers those kicks. Arm wrench. But Salem, knowing where she is, rolls out onto the apron to safety. Well, relative safety. Oh, but gets guillotined. And Salem now hops back in. Cassidy to her feet. Is she quick enough, though? Luthez pressing big right hands from Salem. Tries for the quick pin. Referee took her time right there. Not even a 1 count. As we see Salem definitely cut across the bridge of her nose. Slingshot into the ring. Sit out face buster. And Salem now looking to deliver some big punches, but it's Cassidy Vance with a few right hands. In the corner, Salem picks herself up. Cassidy Vance going for a hell of a kick. Cartwheel, back elbow, gets sidestepped. What a match here. Fireman's carry. Ooh, Ushigoroshi. That fireman's carry neck breaker. And Cassidy now, no, rejected. Forearm smash by Salem. Kicks the midsection to counter. And the Psycho knee to put Salem what? No! 2.999. Cassidy Vance looking around like you gotta be joking me right now. Vance, though, doesn't look like she's finished. Irish whip going to put Salem in the corner. Cautious approach. Maybe a bit too cautious. Elbow there from Salem. And now with a double leg takedown. Floors her real fast. Stomp to the arm. Kicks to the midsection. Forearm smash to the side of the head. Cassidy desperate here for a reprieve in the corner, but Salem's on her like a monkey on a cupcake. Didn't see that elbow coming though, and goes for the cutter, but gets countered midair into a power slam by Salem. Wow. And it's Salem now. Pulls Cassidy in the middle of the ring. Triangle choke here is locked in. Cassidy Vance is in a seriously bad way here. Trapped in the middle of the ring, but look at her. Look at the power. Look at the tenacity of Cassidy Vance to escape that. That is incredible. What a match here. Salem trying to keep to her winning ways. Cassidy Vance looking for a much-needed win here. Scoop slam in the corner, setting her up. Setting her up for something big. From Brett's rope. Cassidy trying to rally these fans, and they are behind her 100%. Neckbreaker though gets sidestepped. And Salem, so fast, has Cassidy caught again in the triangle choke. And this time there's no escape for Cassidy Vance. Another win for Salem. What a wait a minute, it's Fig, and she has a kendo stick right to the gut and thwacks her across the back. Fig is a woman possessed, and she wants one thing. Salem ripped in half. And a statement made there by Fig. No doubt about it that things between she and Salem are far from over. But guys, it is co-main event time now here on Octane episode 124. Of course, still to come in our main event, Noah of Main Character Energy goes one-on-one with Beatrice Lotus. But first, AK Bunny looks to remain undefeated here on Octane as he faces a very big challenge, though, in the form of Alaric. How impressed have we been with AK Bunny since his debut a few weeks ago? Of course, he defeated Brody Anderson in his debut. And then last week here on Octane, guys, despite a mid-match interference by Xander Slate, Bunny was still able to overcome Alex Young. And so he looks for his third win here tonight. And what a win it would be against who many consider to be the greatest champion of all time here in CMV. The former Pure champion who held that championship for nearly 9 months. A man who has only been defeated one-on-one a couple of times during his tenure here in CMV. The proprietor of Purity, Alaric, who of course does not come alone either. His tag team partner, Corvo Jack, going to be in his corner. And speaking of Jack, Alaric, the jack of all trades, as we've seen how successful these two have been in tag team competition over the last few weeks. They're undefeated as a tag team in straight up standard tag team matches. Of course, they were unable to win that fatal 4-way Tornado tag team ladder match, as instead that match was won by Jeremiah Carter and Carlos Corvo, who went on to defeat Salvage and Bloody Justice and then the Fallen at Dead or Alive and are the new Octane Tag Team Champions. Congratulations to them. But you can be damn sure the tag champs have got a big target on their backs. And that target being aimed at by these two, no doubt about it. But tonight, Alaric's got a bit of solo business as he looks to end this premature undefeated streak of AK Bunny. Nothing like being tossed straight into the deepest end. No disrespect to a Brody Anderson or an Alex Young, but this is like climbing up the first two rungs and then skipping all the way to the top. AK Bunny, nice shot there. Alaric in our co-main event, and definitely a clash of styles here between these two, as we've seen from AK Bunny over the last few weeks. Very fast. He even said so on his armband. I'm too fast for you. Incredibly agile, loves to take to the air, and obviously Alaric hates that, despises all things not pure wrestling. Mat-based, submission-oriented, old-school style. So you know Alaric's going to try to ground AK Bunny, try to wear him down, try to tap him out, whereas AK Bunny's going to do that. Fly through the air, great DDT and a dropkick to follow up. Gonna try to keep the fight moving up to the top rope. Great positioning here as AK Bunny looks for a moonsault and hits it. Perfect. Ken, though, guys, Alaric has only ever been defeated one-on-one a couple of times since arriving here in CMV. One of the longest reigning champions of all time. Nearly 9 months as the pure champion. That reign only ending last month at the hands of Silas Blackwell. Big knee to the side of the head, and a reality check for Alaric, who rolls to the outside, momentarily taken aback by the newcomer. AK Bunny focusing now on the left knee of Alaric, perhaps trying to play Alaric's game. Look for a submission, but gets sent into the ring here. AK Bunny, no clean ring entry for you as he gets dragged over to the ropes. Gonna toss him almost into Corvo Jack. AK Bunny off the ropes here. Oh, but Alaric shuts it down with a big right hook. A nice try, kid. Think twice. That really took all the steam, all the wind out of AK Bunny's sails, if you will, but he's able to fight back now. Well, he didn't get all that kick. He got enough of it to take Alaric off his feet. Back up to the top rope. This time a double boot stomp. Straight to the gut of Alaric. Back to the top again. It is non-stopping. Imploding Phoenix splash by AK Bunny. Troy Talk to never. And into the pin. What a win to remain undefeated, but a kick out. Nearly there, but not near enough as AK Bunny tries to take a second. Okay, let me collect myself, but maybe took a second too long as Alaric avoids that springboard moonsault, and now on the rebound pop-up single knee backbreaker by Alaric. As you see Bunny roar to the outside, almost right into the waiting hands of Corvo Jack. Takes a step back though, doesn't want to risk the disqualification. Alaric then remove the top turnbuckle cover here. Looking to get a little bit dirty. I don't know if I would necessarily call that pure wrestling, but what we've seen Alaric is willing to do just about anything if it means victory. You see him working on the arm. Trying to damn near rip AK Bunny's arm clean off. He's just stomping the hell out of Bunny now. God damn, another stomp to the ankle. Rolls through, he's able to pop up AK Bunny. Air raid siren neck breaker to the newcomer, who's been chugging along these last few weeks, but he's run into a roadblock tonight in the form of Alaric. We're at a count of 14 already. Okay, ref show for a second here. 15. Tries for that stomp. Alaric gets out of the way. Big knee takes AK off his feet. 17 count by the ref. Alaric does not seem to give a damn, but he fights back with a punch to the gut. 19 count. Can they get back into the ring? Oh my God. Wow, you gotta be kidding me. Come on, ref. Alaric by a millisecond gets back into the ring before AK Buddy, and the ref calls it. That is unreal. Alaric got back into the ring at 19.999. Bunny was right behind him, but the ref has none of it. And Alaric is victorious by countout. And that hands AK Bunny his first loss here in CMV. These two get lost in the sauce at ringside, though. They both realize at the same time, holy shit, it's a count of 19. And that is unreal. Alaric, the win by countout, the closest countout I've ever seen. This referee, a real stickler for the rules. But a win, as the Bloody Twit would say, is a win, even if it's by countout. And main event time it is, my fine feathered friends, here on Octane, episode 124. It's been a hell of a show, two-parter. But it comes down to this. Beatrice Lotus set to go one-on-one here with Noah of Main Character Energy. And of course, upon Lotus's return to CMV last month, the surprise participant in that #1 Contenders Battle Royal, well, Gianna instantly unhappy with the fact that Lotus taking away, even if it's just a bit, of Gianna's spotlight. Gianna not happy with any of these newcomers, these returning legends. Gianna saying, of course, I'm the main character of CMV. Everybody should be talking about me, but they're too busy talking about Beatrice Lotus being back. And, well, they had their matchup a few weeks ago, which Lotus won. Hell of a match. Gianna, that obviously did not sit right with her. And Gianna, guys, last week, Gianna Octane cost Beatrice Lotus a spot inside of the Elimination Chamber, live from Long Island. Ashley Rain able to pick up the win. And now Lotus has to take the fight to the foot soldiers of Main Character Energy, Noah, here tonight. Lotus, perhaps returning to CMV, didn't realize just how deep this women's division has become during her 6 months away. All the star power, former world champions, legends returning, a massive wave of newcomers trying to make a name for themselves. Came up short in the Battle Royal, thanks to Gianna, came up short in the Chamber qualifier. And now look at Noah, the size of this woman, representing Main Character Energy. I noticed that neither Blake nor Gianna anywhere to be seen. Of course, on Shockwave, we're going to see all of Main Character Energy against Sofia Hernandez in a handicap match. Perhaps Gianna just getting ready for that bout. But here we go, main event of Octane episode 124, Noah. Her first singles match here in CMV. So far is only tagged with either Blake or trios matches. So it's a real coming out opportunity for Noah if she can knock off who many consider to be the greatest women's world champion of all time. I mean, there's no denying the fact, longest reigning women's world champion of all time. No denying the fact, most successful defenses of the Women's World Championship. We see Noah early in control, but Lotus is going to change that. And now she's got a hold of Noah's arm here. Obviously, the smaller is Beatrice Lotus, but she's used to that. Being a smaller competitor, 9 times out of 10, Lotus is going to be the one at a disadvantage when it comes to height, weight, a power advantage. But that has never stopped Lotus before. Stalking Noah here. Warm smash, a little bit short. Back to the collar double tie up instead. And obviously we're going to see Noah overpower Lotus here. Shove her into the corner. Will we get a clean break? No, we won't. Big right hook there. The referee's going to warn Noah, be careful not to get yourself to squaw if I just get yeeted. I love this Noah. I love Blake. I love Gianna. Main character energy. #1 fan right here. I don't know where Gianna found these two gals, but as a trio, they're seemingly unstoppable. And again, we're going to see Lotus pushed up against the ropes. Will we get a clean break this time? Yes, we will. Noah doesn't want to push it. Doesn't want to risk getting DQ'd. Off the ropes. Drop down. Leapfrog. A big power slam for the former women's world champion, getting manhandled at the start of this match by Noah. They knee to the side of the head as we see Noah now go up to the top rope. Big gal gonna fly with an elbow drop attempt, but Lotus able to get out of the way. Crafty as Lotus, and she has to be, considering she is at such a disadvantage in terms of height, weight, strength. Big back elbow. We see Lotus now target the knees. This is a great strategy going up against a larger opponent. Eliminate their base, take them off their feet. That's exactly what Lotus is trying to do right here. Maybe not so with these headbutts. Good few of them in a row by Beatrice Lotus. Watch now as Noah crawls her way into the corner. Those headbutts might have taken a toll. Body splash, down goes Noah. And Lotus, oh my goodness, very interesting elbow drop. Quite an intricate setup there. Nailed it though, and a monkey flip now sends Big Noah overhead. As we see Lotus up to the top. Could it be time for a hangover? No, not just yet. She has not failed to hit one yet since returning. Well, she does fail to hit that. Looked like maybe a whisper in the wind attempt of some sort. Hook to the jaw though. Gonna make up for it here with a tilt-the-world Hurricane Rana. Lotus gonna go back to the top. Oh no, trying for a slingshot and leg drop there. Noah gets out of the way. And an Irish whip sends Lotus off the ropes. A big back elbow. Jacking the jaw of Lotus up to Brett's rope. Body splash though. Lotus scrambles out of the way. As we see her out on the apron, waiting for an opening. Noah to her feet. Springboard drop kick right to the face. And quickly to the pin. Beatrice Lotus for the win, but a kick out. Lotus trying to return here to CMV after 6 months away, trying to reassert her dominance. Easier said than done with just how stacked this division currently is, and with someone like Gianna trying to put you right back out of CMV. Gianna having none of it. Irish whip into the corner. Lotus with a scoop slam. Sets her up. Are we going to get the hangover? No, it keeps teasing us. Instead, we're going to try for the whisper in the wind again. Yes, and that time, she absolutely nails it. Doesn't stop there. Just Lotus with Noah, her Irish whip into the, oh, right into the ref. Ref should have been quicker to get out of the way there. That's going to allow Noah to plant a forearm smash, man, right across the jaw of Lotus. That rocked her right there. Rammed chest first into the corner, but one well-placed boot there by Beatrice Lotus, who runs her down with that headbutt. But Noah, look at this, taught well by Gianna. Excellent ring awareness by the rookie as she rolls to the outside, avoids getting pinned, lures Lotus in, and now a Hurricane Rana from Big Noah. Follows up with a barrage of right hands. Let's hope these two get back into the ring. We've already had 2 countouts here on the show. Oh, big right hand. Well, Noah back into the ring. She says done and dusted, and maybe is Lotus going to get back up from that? She is out cold, or at least it looks like. Oh, Noah's going to reset the count. Doesn't want to win by count, and I'm sure Gianna told Noah, oh, go out there and punish Lotus tonight. As she whips her right to the side of the steel barricade. Punishing the veteran here, running power slam on the floor now. Good God. Knee drop across the chest. I mean, this has become entirely one-sided. The neck crank, count of 4 here. And Noah is having her way with Beatrice Lotus. Up to the top rope. That's going to reset the count again. That's the least of Lotus's worries right now, though. From the top, double axe handle, Cam Harris style. I mean, good God, man. Another deadlift running power slam. This is unreal. Lotus, the referee might have to stop this match. Lotus is getting battered. But wait a minute. There's still life left. Beatrice Lotus counters the Irish whip. Back into the ring these two go. As Lotus now. Double underhook. Lung blower. And Lotus to the top. Is it finally time? The hangover, and it connects perfectly into the pin. 1, 2, what a kick out by Noah. Look how Lotus, no hesitation, straight back to work as she hops out onto the apron, lines up her shot perfectly. Another springboard drop kick, but Noah sees this one coming. And a springboard cannonball sent down attempted Lotus. Out of harm's way with the quickness. I can't stop Noah from crawling into the corner. Lotus, though, is on it like white-out rice here. Spins her around. Kick the rope. And now the Greco-Roman throw hold referee, though, is having none of it, telling Lotus, hey, better check yourself unless you want to get disqualified. Lotus digging down deep in her bag of tricks. Big right hook. Noah eats it. Response to the knife edge chop. Another right hook. Another knife edge chop from Noah. Knife edge chop from Lotus. They're going back and forth like the 4th of July. Lighting up each other's chests. Oh my goodness. They are standing. They are banging here in the main event of Octane. Episode 124. Headbutt by Lotus. Putting an end to that emphatically. And to the top, it's another hangover! Right in the middle of the ring, baby! Uno, dos, no race for Beatrice Lotus, who now is looking a bit frantic, a bit worried perhaps. A second hangover cannot keep Noah down. Noah trying to go low in the corner. Lotus with some lucha tings. DDT there out of the corner. Gonna try for another quick pin. Lotus is hoping at this point something will be enough. Another kick out by Noah. You can see Lotus growing frustrated. What a debut for Noah in singles competition, though. Taking, that's the greatest women's world champion of all time. The distance here. Lotus up on the top, not looking for a third hangover, though. Instead, a swanton to a standing Noah. Innovative offense. and looks for the wheel kick, but Noah ducks under it. Lotus goes flying, and a big right hook. Holy cow, 1, 2, kick out. Lotus ate that right hook, man. I don't know how the hell she kicked out. Cannonball sent on, connected that time. Another pin attempt here by Noah. And that's going to do it. Noah has just pinned the greatest women's world champion of all time clean in the middle of the ring. But, uh-oh. Oh, no. I'm sure Gianna instructed her to do this. Noah's not finished. She's got a steel chair in hand. But it's Dallas Cole, who has had her own issues with Gianna and main character energy. And Dallas Cole making sure that Noah does not potentially end the return of Lotus here tonight. What a save by Dallas Cole.